As a business owner, do you feel consistently busy but really never making progress? Chances are you're saying yes to too many things that actually don't move your business forward. If your business has reached a plateau, the reality is you need fewer distractions. We assume that if we work harder, we'll fix the problem. Saying yes to all the things we say yes to is the single fastest way for us to stay stuck. 84% of business owners report that they work more than 40 hours a week, yet 10% feel, quote, consistently overwhelmed, according to the Alternative Board. So today I want to talk through the three areas where saying the word no, saying no will transform your business. The very first area that we must say no to is we've got to say no to the wrong clients. Do you realize that not every client is a good client? I don't know if you realize this, but taking on the wrong client actually drains you, your team, and your company's energy. It kills your profitability and it slows your overall growth. See, when we think about clients, we often look and say, well, they're going to pay us. Well, the reality is not all revenue is good revenue. Just because they're willing to pay us a lot of money doesn't mean that's going to be a good client. You see, if the client doesn't align with our business model or our values, they actually end up costing us more stress as the owner, as your team. They drive to inefficiencies and they waste resources. Harvard Business Review found that bad clients, or let's call them misaligned clients, they can actually reduce the company's profitability by 20%. Say, well, that's crazy. How do they do it? Well, they create this thing called scope creep. Now, I like to go hunting, and so I have a scope on my rifle. And scope creep in business means that instead of me being laser focused on one thing, it actually starts to pan out. In my rifle scope, whenever I'm trying to hit my target, if there's any type of variation or any type of wiggle in the scope itself, it'll cause my accuracy to wane. So the same thing happens with bad clients is it's going to cause scope creep in your business. It's also going to create payment issues or misalignment of your services. So not all clients are good, even if they pay you a lot of money. Another reason why not all clients are good is because high maintenance clients, those clients which we all know we have at some point in our company, probably even today, they take away our time from the clients who we really consider to be the great ones. I know you've dealt with this with bad clients. You end up spending more time on their needs and they end up being unprofitable and they take your focus away on serving the clients that you truly desire to serve, the high value clients that can actually help grow your business. Donald Miller with StoryBrand makes this quote. He said, "You don't want more clients. You want the right clients because bad clients take more money than they give." I was actually having a conversation today with a business owner who is a financial advisor that works out of the Phoenix, Arizona office. And he said, "Justin, I built an unbelievable practice." And he did. He built a really good practice. He said, "But the problem is that I don't like working with the clients that I've been targeting." That would be a bad client for him. He said, "They pay me, but man, they drain me and the revenues are just inconsistent." So it's a bad client. So we're going to work with him to restructure his focus to find the right clients. Another thing that happens when we say yes to everybody is we actually weaken our brand. Think about this. By saying no to clients, the wrong clients, it positions you as a premium brand. When you stop taking any clients you can, you naturally increase your perceived value externally and, more importantly, internally. As you strengthen your brand, you're able to attract better clients. You're able to drive a scarcity-driven demand. I'm not talking about scarcity mindset. I'm talking about a scarcity brand. I watch these influencers. I follow a lot on social media, and I'm intrigued on the marketing side of things. One of the things I've noticed here recently is they'll come out and they'll say, "We have 500 of this widgets and that's it." And they'll sell out and they'll have a waiting list for the next month. And they'll have 500 of those widgets and they'll sell out. Why? Because it's around brand or scarcity-driven demand. Think about it this way. Apple, the phone company, and now I have a smartphone, I have a Samsung, but Apple doesn't sell cheap mass market products. They focus on premium customers. And That's candidly why they dominate the industry. Well, Justin, why don't you have an Apple? Because I like a smartphone. I'm joking, tongue in cheek. But the reality is that people who buy iPhones are considered to be a premium customer, so much so that there's several vendors which will have a higher price point for an Apple user versus an Android user because of the premium customer conundrum. So saying no to the wrong customers, friends, will actually increase your company's profitability. All right. Number 2. Say no to more products and services. So many times, and friends, I've fallen guilty of this so many times in my life, but by us expanding our offering too soon, we dilute our brand, we overcomplicate our business, and we slow our scalability. So many times I say it this way: complexity fails, simplification scales. Why? Because complexity, it kills your profitability as a business owner. More products, more services require more marketing, more fulfillment, more systems, more training, more, which creates an operational drag through your business. McKinsey says it this way: companies that reduce product complexity increase profit margin by 5 to 10%. Why? Once again, complexity fails. The more you can simplify your offer, the more it'll scale. Well, let's dive into that a little bit further. There was a study done by Columbia University that found that shoppers were 10 times more likely to buy when they had options of 6 or less. Let me say it slightly differently. When presented with an offer, if a buyer had less than 6 choices, they were 10 times more likely to buy than if they were presented with more than 6 choices. Why? Because too many choices lead to analysis. They lead to frustration. They lead to indecision. So confused buyers don't buy. So if you're offering too many options, we need to narrow it down. Prospects struggle to decide. They want to work with you, but they can't figure out which way to go. We want to give them one offer that meets them exactly where they need. In all full transparency, this is the one thing I've been trying to hone this last year in my own practice, in my own business. As you might remember, I bought Financially Simple back for $1, got all the information, then began retooling it, and then we launched it last July. We had a phenomenal year last year, phenomenal year. We got a lot of infrastructure built, but we came out with offers, and then we've been cutting them, and we've been getting simplified and simplified and simplified, so much so that we have one offer delivered 3 different ways. That's it. It's the same body of knowledge. The way I was describing it to my coach, and I said, the way my mind's working is I am standing in California and I want to go to Hawaii. Am I going to take an airplane across there to get there super fast? Am I going to take a cruise liner to get there, medium speed? Or am I going to take a rowboat? Or am I going to swim? I'm going to have the same offer, the same service, but how fast am I going to deliver that? It's simplified. And friends, since we began simplifying it just this year, since January 1st, we're now midway through February at the time of this recording. And the company now has done 4x what we did in the previous 6 months. Why? Because confused buyers don't buy. Another one around the buying position with saying no to more products and services is this: specialization leads to scaling. The most successful businesses out there, they master one core offer before they expand. This is what I've been working hard on my company this last 4 months, just getting super tight on our offer. I have the honor and privilege to talk to students all around the country. I get to go to colleges. I speak from stages. In my early days, I began talking with clients, children, as I was talking with them about money and various things. Now, when I go and talk with people, I hear things around, I want to become a doctor. And that's very intriguing to me. And I say, well, why do you want to become a doctor? Well, they make a lot of money. And truly, they do. They make a lot of income for their skill set after they've invested 12 or 16 or 20 years of their life into a system to learn the product. But think about doctors. Doctors are specialists. We have a doctor for almost every part of the body. Literally, for every part of the body, we have a doctor. They specialize in that one thing. So may I challenge you that not every product or service you can think of should ever hit the marketplace. In fact, candidly, friends, you should be saying no to more of those ideas. All right, number 3, and this is going to seem radical at first, but you should say no to almost every opportunity that comes your way. If you want to be a successful business owner, you should say no to almost every opportunity that comes your way. Most opportunities, quote, quote, are just distractions. They're disguised as progress. And if we've been in business a while, we know this. How many times have you gotten this harebrained idea and you chased it and you spent money and time and resources and it just petered out? Why? Because not every opportunity is worth pursuing. See, opportunity cost is real. Every yes we say to something low value is a no to something that actually moves the needle. Warren Buffett says it this way, and I love this quote by him. He says, the difference between successful people and the really successful people is that the really successful people say no to almost everything. I found some liberty this last year. 2024 last year was my year of saying no. And at first, when I began saying no, I started off by somebody asked me to go to lunch with them. Hey, can we go to lunch? No, I don't have time for that. And they came back in. No, well, I want to introduce you to so-and-so. I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. You're welcome to have a call. Well, no, we want to go to lunch with you. No, I'm not interested. Now that was hard for me because it was a long-term friend of mine. But they were trying to help a friend of theirs out just to get my influence. And then afterwards, my buddy and I had a quick call, and I'm like, dude, I'm busy right now. I got to say no. And then as I began leaning into saying no and saying no and saying no to more and more and more and more things, wow, it's amazing how much more freedom I have. Warren Buffett's right. If I want to be really successful, then I've got to say no to more things. Think about it this way. More opportunity equals less focus. Focus, as we talked about recently, stands for, as an acronym, follow one course until successful. Whenever we jump, myself included, from idea to idea to idea, what we end up with is about 10 things done halfway. When the reality is, if we execute that one thing until it's completed, we would actually end up moving the needle more. How many projects do we all have around the house? Doesn't matter who you are. How many projects have you started, just haven't got them done yet? Why? Because we lose focus, right? There's actually some really interesting research done by the American Psychological Association. They illustrate and they were able to ascertain that multitasking reduces productivity by 40%. And friends, as a business owner, you multitask a lot. How do I know? Guilty. I'm guilty too. I'm guilty. I'm preaching to the choir here, friends. I have got to learn to say no to more opportunities and stay focused. You know, success. And if we're talking about decamillionaires, we're talking about true success. Success comes from being known for one thing very good. Very good. Every great brand is associated with one dominant idea. Let me name a few and you fill in the blank. Tesla. What's Tesla known for? Okay. What about Nike? What are they known for? Or my favorite, Chick-fil-A. What are they known for? See, if we think about it, you probably said Tesla is electric cars. You may have said Nike is performance. You may have said just do it or performance. And Chick-fil-A, I know you said the Lord sandwich. I mean, that chicken sandwich makes your tongue beat your brains out. It is good stuff. These companies and other greats, including the people that we aspire to be like, they did not reach that level of success by diluting their focus. They got laser focused on one thing, and then they built systems around that one thing. They focused and they dominated. So let me ask you a simple question. What is it today you should say no to? Should you say no to some bad clients? Should you go in and fire some clients, some customers? Probably. Should you reduce your offerings? Probably. Should you say no to every shiny object? Absolutely. Friends, let me just ask you another simple question. Are you tired? You tired of spinning your wheels? Does your business feel that way? If it does, chances are you've said yes to way too many things. And because you've said yes to too many things, your business is stuck. You're not as hyper successful as you want to be. You're probably not going to reach that decamillionaire status that you're aspiring to reach. May I challenge you that oftentimes we can't see the problem from inside. We need somebody from the outside. We just finished up the Super Bowl, and it was fascinating to me to see the Eagles dominate the Chiefs as I'm recording this. It was very fascinating to me. And what was even more fascinating is the coaches. The top 0.0001% of football athletes on the field at that particular point, the top. But there were coaches all up and down the sideline, and there were coaches in the skybox. And the coaches were able to see things and instruct the players in the moment to allow them ultimately to succeed. And what was even more fascinating was as the Eagles were dominating, watching how they were consistently shifting and doing a counterattack to every time the Chiefs would make a correction. It's very fascinating. The same is true in your business. You're that player on the field. You know where you want to go, but you said yes to too many things. You need somebody from the outside to come alongside and say, hey, you need to adjust this. You need to watch out for this counterattack. That tight end over there, be careful for them. They're going to run a in route. Be careful. So friends, if you feel like you're stuck in business, may I challenge you? Let's hop on a free strategy call. Click the link below and one of our strategists, perhaps even myself, will hop on a call with you and we'll talk about what's got you stuck, where do you want to be, and if our coaching services can help you. Until next time, y'all go out and make it a great day.